Hello, welcome. My name's Simon Tillotson and I'd like to mention a few things about Back to Church Sunday. Back to Church Sunday is a national initiative and it happens on Sunday the 28th of September when we invite friends and contacts in our community to come back to church, or even church for the first time if they've never really been to church before. Now, I want to explain a little bit about the ethos behind Back to Church Sunday. In the Victorian era and before that, church going was part of our society. It was something that a lot of people did. In 1851, for example, 50% of the population of Britain went regularly to church. Now it's about 7%, and that includes all of the different denominations. However, despite the decline in attendance, I think it's fair to say that those who come to church these days are coming because they genuinely want to discover a spirituality for themselves. There's no longer the social pressure to come to church that there used to be. In the old days, people would come because it was the done thing, because that was just what people did. Now, people who come to church are generally people who are just trying to discover a personal faith and spirituality for themselves. So despite the sadness that I feel about the decline in church attendance, at least the good side of that is that more people are coming to church for the right reasons, to grow in spirituality. And let's face it, our society has become such a materialistic one that the need for a spiritual life, an inner prayer life, an inner sense that God is with us, an inner spirituality, these things are very important, and they're also very attractive to many people. But you don't get a spirituality or a prayer life or a relationship with God just by wishing it. You have to look for it. You have to seek it. Jesus said in the Sermon on the Mount, "Seek and you will find, knock and the door will be open to you." So I'd like to encourage people to start seeking afresh, to start knocking on the door. And one of the ways of doing that is coming to Back to Church Sunday. As I say, the 28th of September, here at All Saints at 8 AM and 10 AM. And at the 10 AM service we will have our usual Sunday club with children's activities. You know, there might be reasons why you used to come to church. Perhaps you came because you were expected to come, and maybe as a child, and you've never really discovered a personal faith in Christ in your own life. Well, this might be an opportunity for you to knock on that door and to seek and find. Maybe you came because you wanted to bring your children to church and you thought it would be good for the children, and maybe you come at Christmas in the same way, you bring your children to the crib service. Well, we welcome that. But the problem, of course, is that if you only come for your children, which is, of course, a good reason, we like you to come for your children, you're going to really see Christianity as something just for children. That's the issue, really, with the crib service. We get hundreds of people coming, and I love that. But my only feeling is I wish some of the adults would start looking for Christ as an adult too, and discover an adult faith on a deeper level. Perhaps you don't come to church because you are worried about the amount of suffering in the world that you see around you, and you think, how can God exist with the amount of suffering that we see? How can a good God exist? Well, may I remind you that Christianity teaches that when Jesus came to this earth, he was the incarnation, the embodiment of God in the person of Christ, and Christ, of course, ended his life on the cross, as did St. Peter. He was crucified upside down, as did St. Paul. He wasn't crucified, he was beheaded, as did many Christians, and as many Christians even today in northern Iraq are being killed for their faith. You see, the Christian faith is not saying that the world is a perfect place. It's about finding God in the suffering of the world and discovering his kingdom, which will exist for eternity. It's about being transformed by that kingdom, by that spirit. Now, please email me if you have any questions. My contact details are via the church website, or phone me. But I really hope you'll consider coming 28th of September, either 8 a.m. or 10 a.m. at All Saints, Whitstable. We'd love to see you. Thank you.